What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lumsden Motorsports Garage. I'm Wade Lumsden, and today we are working on the Modified, trying to get ready for the Workin Nationals down in Las Vegas. And I'll give you a little bit of update as to where we are with the car. You saw the last video. We took the transmission stuff out because the Flexplate decided to go somewhere else. We are currently waiting on parts for the whole transmission Flexplate bell housing situation that we got going on there. But while we're waiting on parts, which are probably going to show up here last minute, we're going to work on making this nose better. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here, but we're probably going to build some form of temporary nose that's better than this patched together, hose clamped monstrosity that we made down in Vegas finding scrap stuff during the Dirt Nationals that were being held. So knowing that we're going to do that, let's get to work. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure here what we're gonna do yet, but I do know that this section here is going to get redone and rebraced some way, shape, or form. Not quite sure how that's gonna happen. Probably need to make some new cross brace pieces here because those are really beat up. So this one as well. We may or may not be reusing the sides here. A couple specific reasons. I don't know what I have for sheet metal laying around. This is my pile of sheet metal here. I got that one kind of big piece of orange. It's about 18, 19, maybe 20 inches wide in there. But then the rest of my stuff down here is pretty small in comparison. So I don't know if I'm gonna have enough sheet metal to do the nose work that I'm wanting to do, make new bracing across here. Of course, I might come up with a different something for that, but I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to take care of this and do two new sides. It's kind of just gonna be we're gonna have to wait and see and find out sort of deal. I do have and hopefully this shows up like tomorrow or the next day. Currently it is Wednesday. That means I need to be in Las Vegas by 6 p.m. a week from today. So yeah, February 2nd, give you an idea what day it is. Need to be in Vegas to hot lap on the 9th. So anyways, I did get myself a plastic nose valance here to put down here, help block some more air, get some airflow across the front of this nose. That helped me drastically when I was down there last time, so hopefully I can make something better. Again, I'm still kind of holding out on building a new body. It's just a matter of getting the funds for all of that, right? So right now it is still a beat to fit, paint to match thing going on up here on the front nose. But to get started, we're gonna get some stuff torn apart here. I know that there are nose rules for ground clearance and all of that happy jazz. I still have to clean the backside of the motor back here because it had a bunch of oil and stuff. You guys saw that in the last video. If not, go check it out. I'll put a link up here, one of these ways. I'll put a link to that. Go check out that video. But when I put it on the ground to roll it out to get that all pressure washed and cleaned up, that's probably when I will be doing the whole measurements and stuff for the nose, because they're supposed to be, if I remember correctly, a minimum of 4 inches of clearance between here and the ground. I will have to triple check that to make sure. And then of course, because this is why it's all hose clamped up. When I first made this nose, I had it all hanging down low to the ground, and then first time I went into a corner, it just sucked all this up and rolled it under and destroyed all that brand new nose that I added to it down in Vegas. So let's get it torn apart. Let's see what kind of sheet metal I got laying around and go from there. Okie dokie. So I got the front nose and stuff off. Well, all of it's kind of, the pile of junk is down there. You can see all of that is off. I got that big long piece of sheet metal here, and I took off one of my sides, and the other side is still hanging on here. I'm trying to determine if I got enough material to do what I need to, and I think the answer is going to be yes. I'm pretty sure. What I was doing was I have the passenger side of this thing unbolted over here still, right? And I was taking, let me move this out of the way here just real fast. And I was taking my piece that came off and holding it up to, where it was before, and then was like, okay, well, I want to move this forward. There's that nice little notch there. I'm going to move that way forward. In doing that, I'm also dropping it down a little bit, going to be changing the angle a little, but look at how much I need to add there. So I was guesstimating how much more I need to add to the top of this piece. And then knowing that information, I took that over to this big long piece here. I'm going to beat that a little bit flatter. And this side over here is actually a mirror to the other one. It's just that my seams that I have are folded on the opposite side. But I took that, I laid it across here to make sure I had enough material. And I do. So I have enough material to make new sides. What I don't have is more material after that. So when I do this, I'm lengthening the nose, which means that big piece that fills that one over there, that's got my cool logo on it, right? That is now going to be too short. So I'm gonna have to fill that. I've been looking at a bunch of pieces that I got laying around. I think for some of my L mounting bracket stuff, I have the old deck panel. I got some of those pieces laying around. I can use that, but I have a chunk of door kind of out here in La La Land. It's flick the light on, but I got some really old body panels sitting out here. This is an old door that I think I should be able to get flat enough and cut out a piece large enough to use to fill in what I need to fill in. And then when the nose valance shows up, hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed, we'll start to really start fitting stuff in here. I'm gonna hold off on cutting this piece here off of this just to make sure. I'll take that nose valance piece and kind of hold it up there with that and just see what it looks like, see if anything else needs to be, you know, trimmed or whatnot. Plus, it's dark outside, the brake's outside, and it's cold. So I think getting a start, that was a decent start. I'm gonna call it quits for now, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll do some more. Alrighty, so new day. We have light. While I have light, I am going to get this piece laid up on there. I actually have a pattern hanging up there, a piece of cardboard, but I have this, so get that traced out. Differences are, we're going to extend that 7 inches out that way. This is a 1/2 inch hem here and here. Our brake does not like that, so I'm going to of course leave more room for the hem. So basically what I'm going to do is trace out this whole piece just like it sits, and then from there I will take a straight edge and extend it out the 7 inches that I want, draw it out, and then once I have end to end, I will add another 3/4 of an inch for the hem that we're going to put on there on this side as well as on this side. That way those are there for us to bend. So the goal right now is going to be to get the 2 sides cut out of that piece, I'm hoping, at a minimum. And then I showed you guys the scrap out in the side yard. If I can get that far, I'm hoping to cut a piece of that to fill in all of that extra space that was down here that we used, you know, the 2 pieces to make before while we were down in Vegas. So we'll see how far we get. I do lose light quickly, so I'm just going to do this stuff off camera and hopefully come back to you with good results. Alrighty, got one done here. You can see my hems on this side. Now I gotta make the other side, but when I do the other side, I'm gonna trace this exact same thing here. But when I do my hems, I have to make sure that if I were sitting the piece this way, that I put the hems on the opposite, bend them this way, to make sure that you know, I can put the hems on the inside. But I think this will fit all right. Might be a little long or whatever, but that's all trimmable. So as you can tell, I'm starting to lose my light. I already had to click my light on, so I'm gonna hurry up and try to get this second one done. Well, it is dark and cold out here, but I have my 2 pieces. Be able to at least get these going and start getting some stuff laid out. I might come out here and try to make that other piece, seeing how I don't think I'm going to be making a hem on it. I can get away with doing it later, since I have to hammer my hems down, and I don't want to be out here beating and banging too late at night. So all right, let's get some stuff mocked up in place. I'm gonna be taking this one and getting it put in kind of where I want it, and then I'll probably get this one drilled and mounted, and then once this side's mounted, I'll get the other side shoved in, and we'll go from there. Okay, so it is past midnight here now. You can see I'm gonna end up setting that piece there, but you can see that I've been getting I guess some stuff done. Now, I've never used a nose valance before, so this was new for me. This front part's not yet attached, it's just kind of sitting there, but we got our new sides on. I'm probably gonna have to continue to trim out right here where the tire might or might not make contact. Same thing on this side, but overall I think it's looking all right. I got a little bit of trimming up top to do here, and I'm gonna run a brace across here and across here, so that I have something to mount that bent up piece to. And then of course I got to make that piece that's going to fill this. Hopefully I can get all that done tomorrow, and then the nose portion will be done at least. So but for right now it's actually setting pretty solid. I also need to come back. Right now the only thing holding the bottom valance in right here on the sides is one bolt. One bolt, and the fact that it sits flush with this on the bottom. So I need to come back and put either a couple bolts or a couple pop rivets in here just to make sure that the plastic stays in place. Got to do that on both sides. So I'll probably, I don't know, probably use, it's pretty decently thick plastic. I don't know. Maybe I'll try a pop rivet and then I'll try a bolt, but I'm gonna call it a night for now. We'll hit it hard again tomorrow. Starting to run out of time. It is now Thursday. Well, it's after midnight, so it's now Friday. Friday the 4th, giving us only a couple days. I have to leave on Tuesday actually to go down and do some work things before the race down in the Vegas area. So I gotta be loaded and ready to go by Tuesday morning. So all right, till tomorrow, guys. Alrighty guys, it's Friday. Gonna continue on, gotta finish up the whole nose stuff, but we got some stuff in the mail. Look at that. The bell housing showed up on time. Actually, it showed up early. I thought I wasn't gonna get it until Monday or Tuesday. I'm so happy it's here. So we'll get the new bell housing installed, which is awesome. But I also, I got myself a foam plug for the right rear. I also got myself, let's pull some stuff out here. Wheel cover for my Bassett wheel, which is awesome. Dropping stuff. So the whole point of doing this and this is to try to help manage the heat that is in the heat that goes into the tire. So or rather is kept into the tire, I guess. Mud plug and the cover can help keep some heat into that right rear tire under extremely long cautions or whatever. So but I guess we could go over that stuff in a different tech video, but that's why I got that. I'm going to try to improve my tire temperature management, and as part of that, check it out, I finally bought myself a groover. Boom. I have never owned a groover before, so I'm gonna finally, instead of having other people do it or borrow one, I finally own a groover, so I'm gonna be able to do that. What else did we get? This is a groover stand, which, you know, you're supposed to mount the groover with the blade up when you're not using it so that it doesn't burn up the handle and all that other happy stuff. What else is in the box? Let's see what else is in the box. This is the other tire iron grooving stand. One mounts to something, like mounts to a wall, that one does, and this one's like a tabletop version. So I'm pretty excited about that. I now have a groover. Something that has seriously been lacking in my program is tires and tire prep. You know, usually I'm at the track by myself, and I'm lucky if I'm not pounding away at something else on the car. I consider those nights lucky enough to where I can get the tires off and buff them. But now I am going to be able to take that a step further and be able to groove some old tires, get some more wear out of them, maybe get some more aggressive tread patterns and stuff going with that groover, and I'm going to be able to sipe my own tires rather than, because I didn't own a tire siper either, so I'll be able to do that as well. Anyways, go over all that happy stuff when it comes time to do all that happy stuff. For now, I got to come back to here. This is not mounted yet. We're going to get a piece of something going across here, piece of something going across there, get some stuff mounted. I'm going to go out, grab that door. We're going to cut a chunk out of that old door and yeah, try to get this thing going. Like I said, it's Friday. We're running out of time. Yeah, let's get to work. So nose is now, I think, done. It's actually way nicer than I thought it would be. I've never used the valance before, like I said, so this was kind of a new experience. The goal was to get it a little bit lower on the driver's side than it was on the passenger side. I think I would have liked the passenger side up just a little bit more, and I think this side is down as low as it can go, because in IMCA there's a rule that it can't be lower than 4 inches from the bottom of your frame horn. And granted, back here it's okay, but up here, it's right here at the tip, it's 4 inches below my frame horn. So I went with that. I mean, man, that was my first time doing it. So I took a couple pieces of 2-inch angle. I ran a piece across here and ran a piece across here. I bolted it here, 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 here. This thing is really solid. Honestly, probably overkill, but with my time constraints and with the material that I had, that's what I came up with. So I think it came out all right. Other thing was these things, these little lips, the orange piece over here. Mine are only, well, from the piece that's below it, they're 2 inches. They can be as tall as 2 1/4 from here to the top. So after I stack it, it came out to something less than 2 inches. I mean, it's not amazing. Yeah, it's like only 2.5 inches. So that's all right. Lessons learned for next time. Again, this is probably just a temporary nose. I would have loved to have done this in black, but this was all I had. Old door here. So I'm glad that I had that and could at least make something solid and mount well. Again, might need to trim here on both sides, but hey, we're doing good. This can be no higher than the hood, so I had my level here, and I was putting things down. Of course, my hood's a little bent up right there, so I was trying to get a kind of true reading by reading at an angle and pushing down. That's definitely good on this side, and then over there it's good too. So I mean, stuff to think about. The only rule that I didn't check, granted, you're only allowed 36 inches from center of your tire to the very tip of your bumper and stuff. So we're right at that like 35 3/4 mark, way up here. And the 4-inch deal, 4 inches, you got to be 4 inches from the ground. I can't check that with it up in the air, but I'm assuming and crossing my fingers that I'm going to be good. I will check that when it's back down on the ground. Since the bell housing came in, I need to get the back side of that motor cleaned up still. I still haven't dropped this down. I just went straight to body work. I'm going to drop the car down, roll it back, clean up the back of the engine because it's all covered in oil, and then get the bell housing, transmission, all that jazz installed. I showed you guys I got some new toys. We'll probably go over that stuff in a different video. Yeah, gotta keep working here, but I think the nose is successful. Let me know if there's something you would have done completely different, something I'm not happy with. I didn't line up my angle piece that I used to go up with the Dominator plastic nose, so I got this little hump right here on both sides where this angle and this angle change. But oh well. That is much more nose and much better nose than I had when I went to Vegas the first time, and what I took off. So I'm happy with that. On to the next project. It is now Saturday. I have taken the spoiler off. The last time I was in Vegas, we were allowed to, it was an open show, we were allowed to run a 5-inch spoiler on the back. I keep calling it a wing, but we got to run a 5-inch spoiler on the back. I believe this time we're allowed a 2-inch. I didn't want to cut that one down, so as of right now we're just no spoiler back there at all, but that's okay. If I have time, I will try to create something for that. We have rolled the car out and pressure washed in there, try to get a bunch of the grease cleaned up. Used a bunch of degreaser, make it a little bit nicer to work on. And then of course we have our nose that we installed, and I think it looks all right. Not amazing, but looks all right. I did check the ground clearance from here to here. It's a 4-inch minimum, and we have like 7 inches, so should be good. Even with me in the car, should be good. So gonna let the car dry off a little bit. I'm cleaning up the floor a little bit. I had lots of metal shavings and all that for chaos. Gonna get the car shoved back in. We'll put our transmission and new bell housing in, and then we will, of course that's after we get our new Flexplate in, drive line, all that happy stuff. So going back together with it, which makes me extremely happy. Got to do an oil change, a bunch of stuff like that. I think while I have this out though, transmission and stuff out, I'm gonna put a Flexplate on and then run the car and see if I can find that pesky oil leak that I've talked about handful of videos back that I wasn't able to exactly pinpoint, but now I have complete access back there, so, and it's cleaned up, so now's the time to look. So gonna start all that happy stuff, and we'll get back to you. All right, so the Flexplate is getting ready to go on. If you're curious about like what direction, a lot of times on one side or the other, it'll say, that's the SFI sticker, the safety sticker. It'll say engine side, but this one does not. So there's a little lip right there in the center, right here. That faces backwards. That is opposite of the engine side. So this side where it's nice and rounded and there's no lip or anything right there, that's engine side. Another good way to think about it, flex plates are made for automatic transmissions. Automatic transmissions have torque converters. When you are going to want to bolt up to your torque converter, you're going to want it to have a bolting surface. See how this is flat here? So this is spots where you can bolt up to a torque converter. So this side would face the torque converter to be able to get bolted up, making this side the engine side. See how it's all dipped in? So something to think about. I know there's other ones that aren't like welded together like this one is, and they're like one solid piece and all of that happy stuff, but in general most people would be able to use that little tip. Other thing about my Flexplate, it's a Flexplate, is this is a 153 tooth Flexplate. It's a little bit smaller. There's other options out there, like 167 I think is what it is, but this is my 153 tooth Flexplate. That's gonna go in there. That is what is required to work with the bell housing that I use. Anything bigger and it hits the bell housing. Since my bell housing is a steel bell housing that's nice and thick for safety reasons. So that's what's required. Plus that's where my starter is set up for already, is a 153 tooth flex plate. Plus I believe they actually call that out for use with the Brin transmission as well. So 153 tooth flex plate. That's a thing. So, all right, I'm gonna get this installed. Something I will show you here real quick as well. The coupler for my transmission, for my Brin transmission. You'll notice how this has holes. Okay, when I first got this coupler, see this third hole right here? There's a dowel pin on my crank. So there's a pin that goes through that. And if I had to take this coupler and drill a hole in it to get it to where that dowel pin would go through it, right? The dowel pin doesn't come all the way through, but it does stick out enough. If we take a look, you see that dowel pin right there. That does stick out enough to keep the coupler from going into where it needs to go. So that might be a adjustment you have to make for yours if you have that dowel pin like I do. So some things to keep in mind when you're buying stuff and getting ready to slap it all together. So all right, I got to get this thing in. All right, status update. It is Saturday. It is almost 4:30, 4:22. Got the bell housing in, got the flex plate in, got the starter. Had to shim the starter down to get it to do its thing. We are ready to start putting the transmission in. Thank goodness. Hopefully, so my brother's gonna come by. He's gonna weld that giant hole that piece of ring gear put in the chassis down there. And while he's over here, I'm hoping that either the transmission will already be in, or I can stab the transmission and he can help me bleed the clutch out. Because these Brin transmissions, Falcon, anything with the internal clutch, they're just a huge pain to get all the air out. So that's the status update. I think here in about 20 or 30 minutes, I was invited to go get pizza. So I don't say no to pizza. I love pizza. It's not very conducive to my diet, but I love pizza. So I'm gonna go eat pizza here shortly. I'm clean up a little bit and then come back and do all that. Okay, it is the end of my Saturday night. You can see transmissions in, clutch lines hooked up, shifters are hooked up. I got the drive line in, except that I want to change out what my U-bolts are in the back there that bolt the drive line in. So I'm gonna go get those in the morning. I am running into issues with the starter. Before, when I thought I had it spaced out all good and great, I didn't realize that the starter is barely engaging, and that's because the last, I don't know, that much, the last almost quarter of an inch of the starter teeth are like ground off. I'm assuming from when that flywheel took a vacation. I didn't really notice that at first. I mean, I shoved it up in there and it cranked over a couple times, and then I think that little bit that was grabbing shaved off, and now it's not grabbing anymore. So gonna have to probably go snag a starter just for the the quick way of changing that out. I got the oil changed. I just got to top it off once I get this thing cranked over. Once the starter's in it, I get that done. I found a crack in the chassis up by the engine mounting area that I'm gonna have to get welded up. My brother did come by and weld up the hole that hunk of ring gear put into the chassis. He welded that up. I didn't find the crack until after he left. But yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my list. See my fancy schmancy list here on the Flexplate box. I got to bleed that clutch, and there's a handful of other things, you know. We're getting there. Hopefully I can get most everything done tomorrow, because tomorrow's Sunday. I basically have to be done and have the car loaded and ready to rock and roll Monday night, so that I can leave Tuesday morning to head down to Vegas. So, because I have some work stuff I have to do down there. So before I get to go race, right? So hopefully I can get that stuff finished up. At least it seems like the majority of the hard stuff is done. Something I'll point out here real quick that I do with my drive line. Don't know if any of you guys do it. I guess comment down below if it's something you do or if it's something you're going to start doing. You can see I took an O-ring and I placed it. I'm trying to point with the same hand that's holding the camera, and I placed it right there. It's kind of an old trick that was shown to me. Pass it on to you guys. That way, you know, you guys with 4-bar suspensions, when the suspension drops, it drives that drive line in, and you can see if it's bottoming out or just how much is actually sliding in there. So a little trick for you. So all right, I am going to call it a night. We'll hit it again tomorrow. All right, new day. It's Sunday. I gotta pretty much get whatever I can done today, and make it to where all I'm doing is loading a race car tomorrow, if that. So a couple things that are gonna happen. I'm gonna change out my starter. I run this Dynaforce MSD Dynaforce 5095. It's been a really good starter for me. The first one I bought was off the Summit discount rack, and so it was like super cheap. And I used the crap out of it and loved it. It finally gave up the ghost, but they're rebuildable, so which is awesome. Unfortunately, one, I don't have time to rebuild this one, and two, the teeth on this one are completely shot, so it's not like the solenoid or anything like that went out. So I'll have to figure out how I can change that. So for the sake of time, I know they're a little pricey. They're up over $300. They're like 350 or something like that. Actually, I could tell you. Maybe I can't. I don't have the receipt. Never mind. So it's up over $300, but it's been a very dependable starter until a Flexplate ate the teeth up that was trying to leave the car. So anyways, this is that. Comes really easy. It's super easy to install. Comes with destructions and all that happy stuff. So gonna get that installed. I also got a set of U-bolts, or U-joint straps, whatever you want to call them, but they are a U-bolt. I have the set that I had on there. One was a long one was a short one, and I was like, it's not matching. And for $8 I can have matching, and I can throw those two back in my trailer as spares to have as spares, right? So gonna do that, and then once I do my starter change and get my drive line all strapped in and stuff, we're gonna be hot to trot, ready to run. Bought some new weight clamps. Where'd they go? These were the only weight clamps they had. I bought these big thick ones from All Star. They had these ones as well, but actually the guy sold me the wrong one. That one's a 1 inch. I wanted 1.5 inches, so that'll be going back. I kind of like this style a little bit better. They take up a little bit less room when you're running them on a bar with wires. So, all right, I'm gonna get to work. Hopefully my next update's gonna be like, woo, we're done, but I highly doubt that. Alrighty guys, not a whole lot left to do here. I got most everything I wanted done. I still got to weld up that bar, that crack that I found. Big things now are cleaning my air cleaner, getting that stuff ready to go, getting all of my safety equipment ready to go, trying to track down tires with all this Hoosier tire shortage stuff going on. Yeah, my local tire dealers, they ordered tires and they were supposed to be here like last week or something, and they still haven't gotten their tires, so I'm hoping that they get some on Monday. Yeah, I got to put the body and stuff back together, fix a couple of the body mounts. But speaking of tires, I ordered a couple trailer tires as well that were actually supposed to have been here last Thursday, and they're still not here. So thought I might show you guys this. Like, let's see how bad this really is. Okay, so right here, this is pretty much flat, or not flat, but bald. Yeah, there we go. The really bad side's way down here. Both of those tires are like bald in spots, which are no bueno. So really crossing my fingers and hoping that stuff shows up on Monday, tires, and I'm hoping that my local tire dealer will get tires on Monday, and all of that happy jazz, because really I think that's about it. I do got to pack the trailer up and get it ready to go again and all of that happy stuff, but I think since the majority of the big stuff is done, I am going to say goodbye. I'm waiting on somebody to come over and help me bleed the clutch and re-bleed my brakes again, since I had that brake issue last time I was in Vegas. I'd like to bleed them again, make sure, you know, we're still going through, making sure all of the air's out and stuff. So, but I think that's where I'm going to leave you guys. So, don't forget to like and subscribe. Any questions, comments, concerns down below. I know there's a lot of stuff over a lot of days on this video, so if there's something you would have done better, let me know. I wanted to show you. So yeah, that's my piece of angle. I got 2 of those pieces, big pieces of angle for the front nose. I'm not really sure if that was the best way to mount that nose, but for time's sake, that's what I did. So anyways, yeah, if you would have done something better, let me know. Any questions, comments, concerns down below. You'll be able to watch this on the Workin' Man's Nationals on XR Plus. So make sure you're checking that stuff out. You can stream it live. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time.